and I got a phone call from the show saying, "Oh, sorry, didn't you know?" It just shatters you. I'm sort of coping today, but it's going to grow on me as time goes on. Having said that, I can't think about Ron without starting to grin.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Michael, it must be difficult to pick one, but what's your favourite memory of Ronnie?
Well, I mean, an awful lot of brilliant sketches he did, but I do remember him once on the film Fierce Creatures. We were all playing zookeepers, and he was called Reggie Sea Lions, and he had to throw fish into the water, and sea lions would come out. And acting with animals took an awful long time, and we were all terribly patient. Ronnie was absolutely wonderful at keeping everybody patient. And he finally, I think on about the 14th take, when he was asked to carry I think it was a dead ostrich or something across the set, he finally flipped. And it's just wonderful to see Ronnie go.
Yeah.
He didn't shout a lot, he just quivered. And
oh,
thought,
yes.
Stay away, this man is dynamite. But,
Barry, I mean, you've been part of his career, his television career, from the very beginning. It must be difficult for you to choose a favourite memory, I'm guessing.
Memory of the Frost Report. This has just come to me. There's so much to remember, but Ronnie Barker standing at the bottom of a chute in a hotel. It was a chute for laundry and things to come down from rooms, and Ronnie Corbett arrives down the chute at speed, stands up very nonchalantly, says good evening to Ronnie Barker and leaves. And you think, what is going on? And it keeps happening. Ronnie Corbett keeps appearing with Ronnie Barker trying to work. Funny, he's been thrown out of a room up there and stuffed as a joke into the waiter thing or something. Corbett's dignity, the nonchalance. I've just come down the chute and this is very embarrassing, but I will just say good evening and walk out the other side. He was brilliant at that. And the legendary Four Candles sketch, of course. Ronnie Barker just gave it to him. Ronnie Barker was a straight man, but you watch Ronnie Corbett in that sketch. His reaction, superb.
A consummate professional, I think, really.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just...
I mean, Ronnie talks about the Frost Report. That was his big break. You were literally there when he got that break.
That glimpse was Don't Walk on the Grass, I think.
Yeah.
And he went on the grass and did everything but walk. He danced and did the splits.
Cartwheels.
And everything.
I remember that.
Yeah, Ronnie and I were... David Frost, who was massive at the time, and I'd written this show and Ronnie was in it, nightclub show, and Frosty invited us for a drink. Maybe this was his intention, we'd never know. And we just said, oh my God, David Frost. And as a result, Ronnie went into the Frost Report, and I became a Frost writer, which in those days had a real cachet to it.
Right.
You could have been awful, but if you were known as a Frost writer, it was great.
no cash, but a lot of cash.
But is it true that you met Ronnie Corbett and your wife, Terry, on the same day?
The very same day, and I tossed a coin and married her.
It was a close call.
Ron and I would...
He was heartbroken.
And could you tell from the moment that the two Ronnies met, there was that alchemy and that magic between them instantly?
Well, there's a moment in front of the camera, which Mr. Palin will now tell you about, where they're in a police station, and that was the first thing they did on camera together.
Oh, that's right. It was just a quickie, really. And someone goes, hello, super. And the other one says, hello, wonderful. And it just did it. I mean, absolutely spot on.
Elskington,
Terry
sorry.
Jones. The great thing about them together was that they were so... they perfectly understood comedy. They're absolutely professional. I never saw Barry ever forget a line or fluff or anything like that. And also they knew how to play it seriously to get the laughs. So you can see some of the things they play with enormous intensity, as though it's not comedy at all, and that makes it so much funnier.
And you've also
really good acting.
You've spoken today about what you've described as the silliness about Ronnie Corbett and the fact that there was a twinkle in his eye, wasn't there, I think?
Definitely, I think. And that was good for the mix with Ronnie Barker, who was slightly more sort of serious. And there was a naughty side to Ron, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah.
His eyes twinkled.
When they went, if you'll pardon the expression, to ITV, there'd be live...
It's okay, you can mention it once on the show.
Away with it.
No more.
As I was saying to Donald Trump the other day, no, live television, Ron, you could feel little Ron would probably be delighted if a bit of the scenery fell down or somebody came on at the wrong moment. And Ronnie Barker hated it, so it's all done on fear, you know. But Ronnie Corbett had that ability to cope with the moment. It was brilliant.
And he was a giggler. He'd break up very, very easily, except when he was doing the sketches, when he was always... And he was lucky. He had very, very good writers. throughout, and they really made the best of the material. I wrote some stuff for him, not that much, and it was just a joy to see him perform it.
Some of the sketches he performed were tough sketches as well. They're so wordy, weren't they?
Yeah, but he's great pride in the work, would learn everything.
Yeah.
I say, never get the thing wrong.
He was a great reactor, Ronnie Corbett. If you watch him, I'm quite serious. I think it's almost underrated in a way. It's like the brilliant Ronnie Barker, but you watch Ronnie Corbett in the sketch, the emotions flitting across his face. He's reacting to everything that's going on. Brilliant.
And he was very self-deprecating when he was working. That must have been a joy to write with someone like that.
He was arrogant in his humility.
Yes, yes, always going on and on about his humility. Oh, not again.
But it's true. Some comedians would probably go, okay, enough of the height jokes now, enough of the
Yes.
small jokes, but he was doing them until the very end.
Yeah, he didn't want to start with, and then Ronnie Barker encouraged him and said, no, you've got it, play on it. And then he started doing, I've got a passport photograph, life size, and he was doing all those jokes.
Yeah.
He'd play on it, it's lovely.
And
Danny LaRue called him a miniature Cary Grant.
What was that writing process like, working for Ronnie Corbett?
Well, I mean, you did more than I did. I mean, you just Terry Jones and I wrote the scripts, sent them in, and if you were lucky, one was chosen, because these were great performers and also a lot of writers, so it was very competitive.
There was a whole gang of us.
I mean, once it got through, it was given the best
you knew
treatment
it was
ever.
going to be done immaculately, but they were, particularly Ronnie Corbett always said Ronnie Barker was a superb script editor. I mean, but they never disagreed. They'd read a sketch and go, yes, no, yes. They were complete on one wavelength. It was amazing.
I think after a bit you tended to know what their strengths were.
Yeah.
And we used to write, Terry and I wrote very irritating people, and they'd be getting on, hello, I'm from Hendon, and all that. And Ronnie could do them brilliantly. We just knew Ronnie could do that better than anybody else.
But they changed roles all the time.
Yeah.
Some sketches, like the classic Four Candles, Ronnie Barker would be the straight man.
Yeah.
And then it was Ronnie, and then the other way round in another sketch. They
All the
interchanged.
voices he could do. I mean, he could do almost every accent going, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Tremendous.
So
Absolutely
wonderful.
brilliant.
Well, on the line now we have another of Ronnie's great friends, Sir Bruce Forsyth. So,
Yes, sorry about that. I'm not very good with television remote control.
It's the red
the one
button.
one, that's good.
Brucey.
Anyway, hello there, Fern and Ali.
It's Adil to Brucey. That's all right. I'll let you off for that one.
It's all good.
Fine.
Oh, good, fine. But you sort of things have been going through my mind all day long, because when you've known somebody so well and so closely, it's very difficult not to keep thinking about him. But Barry, did you remember the time he came to my apartment, and we were going to rehearse there, and you were there, and he arrived, and the buzzer went, and I went to get the picture of who was outside, and I pressed the button, saw the photo, well, not the photo, but the picture of him there, and all I could see was a top of a head. So I said, who is it? So he said, it's Ronnie. I said, where are you? He said, I'm down here. I said, but we can't see you. So anyway, he came up, and we did the rehearsal and everything. I just said, what a great sense of time he had. He went, we were doing something else upstairs, and then he went away. He went down in the lift and everything, got to the bottom, pressed my bell again, just so that we could see the top of his head leaving. See, he was, well, Barry will tell you, we worked a lot together with Barry.
Yeah, so Brucey, you spent a lot of time with Ronnie on the golf course, didn't you?
Yes, and we used to do insults about one another. And one of my regulars about Ronnie is had a nasty accident, Ronnie. Very bad accident. He fell in a divot.